So in our current weather class, on top we are going to write some parameters of our class here. So we are going to need some of the information that we want to provide. So here we are going to write only the parts that we want to display, because as you can see, we receive a lot of information, but not everything here is useful for us. So whatever is not useful, we are not going to include in our current weather. So I'm going to say private var. We're going to use our private vars for security reasons, and then we're going to also write public setters so we can set them, but the private vars will not be accessible to our other files in our project. So it's going to be underscore city, and this is going to be a string, and I'm going to say exclamatory mark here because this is not an optional, so we are required to have the city. Then we say private var. Since we're going to type a lot of this, I'm going to copy. And then we are going to have the date. This is going to be a type of date, and be careful, not data. It should be the E at the end. Say private var, then current temperature. And this is going to be a type of double. And again, it's not an optional. And we have our feels like information. So we say underscore feels like. And this is going to be double as well because it's our temperature again. And we have a UV index, say UV, and this is going to be double as well. Then we have our weather information, so private var underscore weather type, and this is gonna be string. After we need to display our pressure, sorry, this is pressure here, and this is going to be double, and I'm going to put a note here that this is in MP format, so we know what type of information we receive. Then we have our humidity, and this is gonna be double as well, and this is going to be in percentage. I put a note there. Private var wind speed, this is gonna be in doubles as well, and I'm going to put meters per second. Then we have our what we have here, weather icon, and this is gonna be a string because this is the name of our weather icon. And we have our visibility. It shows how many kilometers is the visibility here. And this is double as well, and it's gonna be in kilometers, so I put kilometer here. And we have two more things, is the sunrise, which is a string. It's gonna be date, and sunset. This is gonna be string as well. So this is all the information our current weather will have, but since they are private, we can set them in our class, but other classes cannot access these values. So for them, by other classes, I mean, for example, our weather here, our view controller cannot access this information. So we need to write other public variables, which will get the information of our private variables here. So the way we are going to do it is just say var, and I'm going to call this city. It's basically the same without the underscore. So the underscore here, it means this is the private. And when we access our city, we are going to return a string, and we are going to first do a check. So if we have a city, so this is if it's nil, so if there is no value set for our city, we are going to set our city, our private value is equals to empty string. So in case if our URL doesn't return anything for our city name, we don't want our application to crash, so we just put an empty string as a city name. And then I'm going to say return. I'm going to return underscore city here. So whoever accessed the city is going to be accessing our private variable city. But just before we return, we are making sure if we have nil there, we will put this as an empty string there. Because remember, this is a type of string. And this way we are going to do the rest of our variables here. We're going to access, make them public